Hello and welcome to the daily newscast within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us at the frequencies available at our website firstua.com. I'm Sergey Velichanskiy and thank you for joining us. For the first time in its history, Ukraine celebrates May 8th as a day of memory and reconciliation. Europe has been celebrating victory over Nazism on this day because it was on May 8th of the 1945 when the anti-Hitler coalition accepted capitulation of the German army. The symbol of the day of memory and reconciliation is chosen to be red poppy. Today, the multi-million victims of the Second World War are remembered. Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine holds a solemn parliamentary session with the President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, and the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon as special guests. There are World War II veterans and ATO army men present in the session hall as well. Pieski, Granitne, Opitne and Avdiivka were under fire last night again. According to the ATO spokesman Leonid Matyukhin, terrorists have used the forbidden heavy weaponry. Shirokine has been shell-fired again with the 122mm artillery and 82 caliber mortars.
These kind of weapons the enemy has used during shelling of our positions in Bohuslavske, Novgorodsky, Krasny Pakhar and Shiroka Balka. Near Leninsky settlement, terrorists fired with tank. The militant snipers were at work in the area of Stanitsa Luhanska and Shchastya. 22 unmanned aircrafts have been spotted in the area.
Right before midnight, the militants shelled Stanitsa Luganska. The regional state administration shared this with First Ukraine. At first, Ukrainian positions were attacked with the fire of grenade launchers and mortars. No casualties reported. Just as before, the attack came from Vesela Hora settlement. The shells hit the central gas pipe of Stanitsa Luhanska.
As a result of shell fire, the high-pressure gas pipe was destroyed. Over 13 settlements, and that is nearly 13,000 households, are left without gas. All steps needed to restore gas supply are being taken at this time.
Europe is celebrating 70 years from the Victory Day. Former allies, the West world and Russia, celebrated separately. The memorial events took place in Poland, where the Second World War started. Bronislaw Komorowski organized a ceremony in Gdansk, in contrast to Russia's parade tomorrow. There came EU representatives, leaders of European countries, and the Ukrainian president. More about 8th of May in Europe shares Lesa Krasun.
Poland started to celebrate Victory Day first. Main event started at night in Gdansk. The place is no accident since that's where the Second World War started. September 1st of 1939, West Platte was shell-fired by a German armor-clad. The defense lasted 7 days. 182 Polish soldiers withstood against 3,500 soldiers of Wehrmacht. However, in time, the Polish garrison troops capitulated. The events in Poland are the alternatives to the Moscow parade at a Red Square. They were initiated as a response to the tension increased between the West and Russia due to the situation in Ukraine. Donald Tusk, the president of the EU Council, made a statement in Gdansk that Europe has faced evil again, as it was prior to the war. And this time Europe needs to act differently. Bronislaw Komorowski, the president of Poland, said that the war in Ukraine has become a shock for Europeans and brings sadness to the Victory Day celebration. The rightful place of Ukraine and other East European countries within our mutual European home. The war which goes on in Ukraine won't allow us to forget that there are powers which remember the darkest times of the 20th century. These powers, as it was before, are controlled by the logics of sphere of influence and try to keep their neighbors in the feudatory dependency. Victory Day in France is a national holiday. John Kerry, State Secretary of the USA, came to participate in the march. Other European leaders have joined them as well. The event is taking place near Charles de Gaulle Memorial. Germany is still figuring out its past. Most of the cities have exhibitions and discussions regarding the end of war. The memorial event took place in Bundestag. 8th of May is the day of freedom for the whole continent. We should never forget the attempts of some brave Germans to withstand Hitler. We remember and express our respect to those who fought the Nazis' regimes of terror. The act of capitulation of German army de facto was signed twice. First on May 7th in Reims. The document was signed by USA and France from the winner's side. A Russian General Major, Ivan Susloparov, was present there. But at that time he had not had any instructions from Moscow. They arrived later. Stalin demanded a second signing. A second act of capitulation was signed in the Berlin suburbs late on May 8th. It was already May 9th in Moscow. That's why Europe and former Soviet countries celebrate victory differently. Lesya Krasun, Sergey Velichanskiy, First Ukraine.
It was the United Country newscast by First Ukraine. You can find more details at our website, firstua.com. Sergey Velichanskiy was working for you in the studio. We wish you only good news. Take care and goodbye.